In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called RapidLoad AI, which is a plugin that's going to use AI to automatically enhance the performance of your WordPress website. Before we poke around the website here a bit and then look at the solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products and services that we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website, product, and services for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you'd like videos like this or other types of videos created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. And also just a quick disclosure, this video is actually more in between a first look and an extended look. That is because I've had to redo this video a number of times because of my recording software. So I've gotten to look at this product doing a run through a couple times. So if it sounds like I know what I'm talking about as part of a first look video, it's because I kind of do. So I wanted that full transparency to be out there. So, okay. All right, let's go ahead and poke around the website. The website is RapidLoad.ai. I typically dive down into the footer of the website unless something catches my eye. And here something catches my eye right off the bat, which is the ability to punch in your website and click on this test your site free button. And it's going to use RapidLoad AI's technology to run an analysis of your website to give you an idea of how RapidLoad AI can help improve the performance of your website. Let's go ahead and dive down into the footer. I want to draw attention to the features, just in case I don't want to miss the features when I go to show the actual product. So I just want to run through quickly what the features are. I want to show you the documentation. They have an affiliate program if that's something you're interested in. You can follow them on X, Instagram, Facebook, GitHub, and LinkedIn. Up here in the header area, we see services, and you can book a free audit with the RapidLoad AI team. They also have some ad hoc services. So RapidLoad Stride is going to be a one-time full stack performance optimization using RapidLoad AI technologies. And then we have RapidLoad Headless, which is a complete rebuild of your website using RapidLoad technologies and various other technologies. All right, let's go ahead and check out the features. I'm going to run through these really quickly. We have AI diagnostics. We can serve modern image formats. We have AI chat assistant, critical CSS loading, delays JavaScript execution, remove unused CSS, content delivery network, CDN. They use Bunny CDN under the hood, which is a very reputable CDN provider. You can preload links, minify CSS and JavaScript, cache preloading, optimize Google Fonts, lazy load images, defer scripts, prevent layout shifts, and page caching. While we're on the topic of page caching, it's important to know that when you're performance optimizing your site, there are multiple layers to consider. You could have a CDN of your own. Your hosting and server could have multiple layers of caching. You could have a page caching plugin installed, and now RapidLoad AI is introducing their own page caching. So you got to think about all of those layers when you're optimizing your site. Sometimes when you're involving all of those layers, you can actually do more harm than good to your site. And when you have a lot of layers that are competing with each other, okay? So just keep that in mind. And then this screenshot right here kind of gives you an idea of what you can expect. Your scores on the left-hand side, whatever those may be, and then on the right-hand side, what RapidLoad AI can potentially do for you. Let's look at the docs. Up here in the header area, we have the ability to search documentation, which is a nice feature. And then clicking on Get Started, let's look at a couple of these docs. So we see some nice screenshots and some documentation here, and that is the way that all the documentation is throughout. I've clicked through quite a bit of it. Okay. All right, so the only other thing I want to point out here is a bit of feedback for the RapidLoad AI team, which I've already given them, and they agree that they are going to take action on that. I'd like to see an about page on their website that put some faces with names, show the team members, a little bit about the company. But I also asked the founder to do a short video of his own. I think that would be good, highlighting RapidLoad at a high level. Okay, so just want to give RapidLoad that feedback again, just as a reminder, and then let you all know that that's just a good practice in my opinion. Okay, let's take a look at the solution. So we're going to go add plugin. And I'm just going to do a search for RapidLoad. So we're going to grab the copy of the plugin from the repository. You can also get this from your RapidLoad AI account. Let's go ahead and activate this and see what comes up. Now, while this is spinning, I want to quickly mention that this site is the latest version of WordPress. It's got the 2025 default theme, and it's got a handful of just a few other plugins, and it's got no content. So there's nothing going on with this site, in other words. So it's going to have probably a perfect score, if not a very close to a perfect score. So in this video, super high level introduction, as I said, we're not going to performance optimize this site. We're not going to get into the weeds. I'm going to introduce the solution and show you what all of the features are, where all the switches are, where you can find everything, that sort of thing. So with some people that record videos, they will skip this part, like with the spinning wheel, they'll edit out their video so you don't have to see this part. I like to show this part just to see what you can expect. RapidLoad AI is actually optimizing the entire site. So there's that to keep in mind. So I mean, obviously if something's going to take 10 minutes, 10 minutes, I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch without telling you in the description of the video that, hey, you can skip these times between these timestamps. Okay. But here we go. We see a score of 99, and then they're proposing that they can get you to 100 if they use their solution. Now, I also want to take this opportunity to say performance scores aren't always indicative of how things are really going. So I've seen sites that have a perfect score or near perfect score and that site has issues. I've also seen conversely where the site could have poor scores, but be passing like the minimum, like the core web vitals is the minimum you want to shoot for. And then the site is doing really well in other areas. So scores are a good indication of something good happening or something bad happening. So there's, keep that in mind. So it is a good indicator that can lead you down the path of optimizing your site for sure. All right, let's click on Let's Improve the Score. So we are going to look at this from the standpoint of Sally Smith, the cupcake baker who has a website. Maybe she's got a WooCommerce site and she's selling her cupcakes. She noticed that her site is slow lately. Maybe she heard about RapidLoad AI from InfluenceWP. She grabbed, had that information, went out and grabbed RapidLoad AI. She's at the point we are now, which she sees that we are defaulting to Turbo Max. And it also says AI recommended. So taking into account that this product is called RapidLoad AI, we're seeing the word, AI recommended here. Plus this is chosen by default. So I'd venture to say that Sally Smith in this case is just going to use that and not click on this link to compare the features. If she happens to, she'll see that Turbo Max has got all the features. Okay, I've paid for this solution, I want it all, right? Not understanding potentially that, maybe these other things that you're enabling here might not jive with your particular site. So she might do this, select Turbo Max, roll with the default, come over here, connect with the license key. Let me license this up real quick. So Sally Smith punches in her key. This is what she's going to see next. Okay, so RapidLoad AI analyzed the site. We see that there are 3 opportunities discovered. There's some savings here as far as loading the page, and there's also 2 opportunities here as far as reducing the size, the overall weight of the website. Okay, so let's go ahead and click Go to Dashboard. So we see some account information here. Down here we see Chat with API. We will look at that here in a second. We have a cache summary area where you can see your total cache, and then you can see the individual caches here, whether it's page, JavaScript, fonts, or CSS, and you can clear these caches individually by clicking on these icons, or you can click Clear Cache and just clear the whole cache once. Down here we see the CDN summary and image summary. So this is your allotment per month or whatever it is that you sign up for, and it gives you a nice indication of what you've used and how much is remaining. Over here, we see when everything is going to refresh as far as your resources. So everything's going to reset and renew on a certain date. Over here, we see that TurboMax again is selected. We can click change gear if we figure out we need to drop down. Down here, we see a dark mode toggle. So light mode toggle, so whichever you prefer. Test mode up here is very important. I recommend turning that on. Running the optimizations, checking out the performance of your site, checking out the front end of your site, make sure there are no issues. Once you're happy with everything, you can come over in here, toggle off test mode, and get those optimizations pushed live to your site. Let's click on this little gearbox here. We have additional options to minify HTML. We can choose query string to identify URLs with query strings as separate URLs. We're not going to get into all the weeds here of what all this stuff means. That's a different video. Let's click queue options. Oh, we have a debug mode there also as well. We'll get into queue options. So you have, this is more advanced for pro users as it shows here, but you can disable auto queue, disable requeuing. We're not going to get into that either. But just know those options are there. Clicking on to the CSS job optimizations table, we see what's currently going. We have the ability to manually add URLs to this. We can do a refresh of files. We can come in here and clear the individual page caches. We can remove, we can preview the page, all sorts of things. There's a search functionality in there, which is really nice. Okay, and then here, if you want to switch back to the old dashboard 2.0, you can do that. I'm not sure why you would, but you could. And then here we can exclude URLs entirely from RapidLoad's optimization features. So if you got critical pages you just don't want RapidLoad to touch, enter those in there. Clicking on these three dots, we can go to additional options, optimization, and select content to optimize. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this is. I've never got this to populate. Maybe if we waited long enough, it would. Let me do this. Let me put that in my other screen, and we'll see if it comes up before we stop this recording. Oh, it did. It's funny. Okay, here it came up. Okay. So here's the content to optimize. We see pages, and you can go into the individual pages and whatnot. Let's go back to optimization. And we see products in there as well. We've got a test product. There's a nice search feature in here. I shouldn't say that I never got this to work. It's just the last time I recorded it, I could not get that to populate, but it seems like moving it to a new browser window jarred that loose. Okay, anyway, so you can drill down into the individual content and see what's going on as far as performance and whatnot. Okay, so let's go over to, let's go back to the dashboard, make sure we've covered everything in here. So view table, this is going to get us into all of the pages that are optimized. You can manually add one here, as we saw before, and then optimize it that way. The only thing that's kind of confusing to me, as a little bit of feedback to RapidLoad AI, as I understand it, it's automatically optimizing the entire website. So with that in mind, maybe it's in the documentation, I'm not exactly clear on when you go through, why you would go through here and why it doesn't seem to be, maybe you can just rerun optimizations for a single page. Maybe that's what that means. I'm taking that to mean that. So let's go with that. Under PageSpeed Insights, I want to mention that RapidLoad AI connects to PageSpeed Insights, which is a page optimization testing tool, if you're not familiar. So they're connecting to the PageSpeed Insights, which is a Google solution, connecting to their API. That's how these tests are running. You can go directly to PageSpeed Insights website and run tests on your own if you wish. When you're thinking about running tests, I recommend running multiple tests. So maybe run 3 tests back to back, come back later in the day, a few hours later, run 3 more, maybe come back later, run 3 more, maybe do that over a couple days and just kind of, get a median response about how things are going. But here we see under PageSpeed Insights, we see those opportunities. And this particular opportunity is saying, hey, if we address this, we could positively impact FCP and then LCP issues, or scores or analysis, if you will. Okay, if we drill down into the actions, it's giving us kind of the issue. It's giving us a nice link to learn how to fix the issue. But it's saying here, eliminate render blocking resources. So and it's giving us quick links down here to where to go to do that. Okay, so render blocking resources. Let's click on, go to font settings. Another bit of feedback for RapidLoad AI is I feel like the customize settings dropdown should automatically pull down and populate with what we're trying to do. But here they give you what you need to do to fix. So you can click on this, and just keep drilling down and applying the fixes, right? Under diagnostics, we haven't ran any, so there's nothing to show here. And then you can see all of your past audits. Let's go ahead and click AI diagnostic. Let's run a diagnostic test and just see what's going on with our site and find any recommendations. Again, some people that record videos would cut this out and just say, hey, it's done. So I like to let this run. And I know from running this in the past, it's only going to run from, I think, up to a minute max. So we're just going to let this finish up. All right, so it's done analyzing and it's going to start spitting out some information for us. The website achieves a perfect page speed score of 100, but there are opportunities to further optimize CSS and eliminate render blocking resources. Core issue, despite being enabled, critical CSS is not being served on the front end, potentially due to server level caching or plugin conflicts. And they give you a number of potential solutions and whatnot. They give you the implementation steps, some guidance on what to do based on the various issue. And then down here, if you have some issues, you can just jump right in and contact support. So work through all of those issues. Let's go over, let me make sure I covered everything. Under these customized settings areas, you can get really granular in what you do. Sometimes when you toggle something on, it tells you that you need to untoggle something else because could be a potential conflict. But you can drill down in here and do whatever you'd like to do. Okay, you can say apply, save changes just to apply to specific pages, or you can apply to the entire site. So you can get very granular with all of this stuff. We covered page speed insights. We did the AI diagnostic. You can always come back and run more diagnostics if you want. Looking over here on the left, we can toggle between our mobile score and our desktop scores. Okay, here we have the option to reanalyze everything. Here we can view everything, the page that we're analyzing on the front end. All right, let's jump back over here to check out this chat with AI. So I'm going to try something fun here. Which plugin, let's do this. Which active plugin installed is the slowest? To identify the slowest active plugins in WordPress, you can follow these steps. So they give you some nice guidance. Let me be more specific. Which active plugins on this site are the slowest? To identify the slowest active plugins on your site, you can use performance monitoring tools like Query Monitor or P3 Plugin Performance Profiler, and then they give you some steps. Okay, let's try something different. Let's go to the pages table here. I'm just going to copy this entire plugin table here. Of the following plugins, which are the slowest? So it came back and is like, provide a list of active plugins. I do feel like RapidLoad AI over time should be able to pull from the list of plugins based on the prompt I gave it, but I just pasted all those in. Okay, based on the plugins you've listed, here are some insights regarding their potential performance impact. Elementor. While Elementor is a powerful page builder, it can be resource intensive, especially if you have many elements on a page. It may slow down your site if not optimized properly. And then it's kind of cool. It breaks down every single plugin and kind of some potential issues. RapidLoad AI, let's read this. Since this is your optimization plugin, it should help improve performance rather than hinder it. However, ensure it is configured correctly. So very interesting stuff here. But you can just sit here and talk to the AI and what's the best thing, again, think of Sally Smith here, or anybody really. What's the best thing I can do to speed up my site? We'll say this site, to speed up this site. To speed up your WordPress site effectively, consider the following recommendations based on your current setup and RapidLoad plugin. Okay, so that's really cool. It gives you a nice little checklist of things to look at. All right, guys, let me see. Let me make sure there's nothing else that I missed here. We've got everything on that screen. The thing I'm still unclear of, RapidLoad AI, if you happen to watch this, I'm still not clear on how to optimize the entire website versus the individual pages, because I feel like we're optimizing individual pages. When I go to those three periods there and I click on optimization and I go into page, for example, I just feel like it's on a per page basis rather than the entire. I don't know I'm not quite sure how to run this against the entire website. I'm not even sure that we should, to be honest. I'm just not quite sure on that. I'm not sure that we want to do that, is what I'm trying to say. But I guess, for Sally, in the case of Sally Smith's out there, maybe we do just want to run this across the entire website and then have the ability to come into the individual pages and maybe rerun them or re-optimize them on a per page basis. Maybe that's what this is doing and I'm just not seeing it. But overall, very cool solution. We're not going to get into the weeds, as I said, or didn't get into the weeds. We could be here for quite a while talking about performance optimization, what all this stuff means. But for the Sally Smiths of the world that need something easy, something fast, that's going to optimize all of the stuff for her site with very little pain, very little headaches, this seems to be a good solution for that. Okay? All right. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.